Factorization. Factorization is reverse of simplification. Suppose I want to open these two brackets in which 2t plus 3 is multiplying by t minus 1. I will follow multiplication, long multiplication. I take 2t and multiply by the bracket t minus 1, and then I will take plus 3 and multiply by the bracket t minus 1. On simplification, I will get 2t squared minus 2t plus 3t minus 3. I can simplify these two terms. Minus 2t plus 3t will become plus t. So my simplified version is 2t squared plus t minus 3. This is the simplified form. And if I go back to bracket form, then this bracket form is factorized form. So this is my point, that factorization is reverse of simplification, and we try to get bracket form. There are certain steps. First of all, you have to take common. Always take maximum thing which is possible as common. And after taking common, or if suppose common is not there, then you will count number of terms. There are three possibilities. Either your number of term is 2, or number of terms is 3, or number of terms is 4. Let me deal these three cases separately. If your number of term is 2, then you will use this formula which says a square minus b square is a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So this is your factorized form. If your number of term is 3, then either you can use this formula, a square plus 2ab plus b square equals to a plus b whole square. This is your factorized form. Or you can use a square minus 2ab plus b square equals to a minus b whole square, which is your factorized form. But you rarely get case A and case B in exam. Most likely you get case C, which is breaking the middle term, and we'll study this breaking the middle term through an example later on. Now if your number of term is 4, then you will make pairs, and in that pair you will take common and proceed. I'll show you by an example. First of all, the case of common. Suppose you have to factorize 9a squared minus 6a. You can see 3a is common. Always take the maximum possible thing. 3 is common and also a is common. A is present in both the terms. So 3a is common, and 3 times is 9, so this is 3a and this is minus 2. If number of terms is 2, then you apply the formula a square minus b square equals to a plus b and a minus b. Suppose you have to factorize 4 minus 25t squared. There are two terms and there's a minus sign in between, and you want to apply a square minus b square. Then you have to write 4 as 2 raised to the power 2, and you have to write 25t square as 5t raised to the power 2. It is very important that you have to write your two terms according to the formula. So 2 square minus 5t whole square will be 2 plus 5t multiply by 2 minus 5t. So this is your factorized form. If your number of terms is 4, and you can see how to take pair and how to take common. Suppose you have to factorize 6cd minus xy plus 2cx minus 3dy. You can see there is nothing common between these two and these two, so you can rearrange. You can bring this minus 3dy over here and minus xy over here, or you can follow some other way of doing it. It is not necessary. So I'm bringing minus 3dy to 6cd and then writing minus xy plus 2cx. You can see 3d is common in these two, and if you take 3d common you get 2c minus y, and if you have minus sign in between it will come out. X is common in these two, you can take x common, so y will be left, and since minus is outside, so this sign get changed, become minus, and 2c is left of taking x out. These two brackets supposed to be exactly same. While the two are not exactly same, they are very much similar, both have 2c and y, but here y is negative and here y is positive. 2c is positive and 2c is negative. When such is the case, you can change the sign outside the bracket, like you will change this minus sign as positive, and then you can change the signs, like you will write 2c as positive and y as negative. When you do so, then the two brackets become exactly similar. Now you can take the two brackets common, so 2c minus y will come out and you are left with 3d and plus x, like this. So this is your answer. Now if the number of terms is 3, and as I told you, this is the most popular form of question that we get in exams, then breaking middle term is the option if formula is not applicable. Suppose you have to factorize 6x squared plus 7x minus 10. There are three terms, you can see 1, 2 and 3. Now in order to apply breaking the middle term, you will multiply coefficient of x squared, which is 6, by the term, the number at the end, which is minus 10, and when you do so you will get minus 60. You also have to consider the middle term, because as the name suggests, it is breaking the middle term. We have to break the middle term, but this has to be done in a very careful way. I'm telling you the steps. So I will take factors of minus 60. We have to ignore minus for the time being. If you take prime factors of 60, this will be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 1. Now using these prime factors, you have to make two groups. You have to find a set of two numbers such that when you multiply you get minus 60, and when you simplify, means add or subtract, you will get plus 7. So you can see it is a trial and error method. You can try a number of combinations. Like in this case, the combination is 2 times 2 times 3 on one side, which is 12, and 5 times 1, 5 on one side. Since I have to simplify these two numbers to plus 7, so I will take 12 bigger number as positive and smaller number as negative. The reason is, if you simplify plus 12 and minus 5, you will get plus 7, which is the middle term. You can counter check. If you multiply plus 12 by minus 5, you get minus 60, which is this number. So on multiplication, you have to get this number, which is minus 60, and on subtracting and adding the two numbers, you have to get plus 7. So your middle term is plus 7, which I broke like this: plus 12x minus 5x. And plus 12 and minus 5 is coming through this process. Now if it is x, you have to write x with both like this. Now you can take common. The common in these two terms is 6x. Always take the maximum possible thing. So if you take 6x out, x will be left, and from 12x, 2 will be left. In these two, minus 5 is common. If minus is outside, you have to take it out. And if you take 5 common, x will be left. And since minus is outside, so this sign gets changed, become plus. 5 2 times is 10, so 2 will come. The 2 bracket has to be same. You take x plus 2 common again, and x plus 2 multiplied by 6x minus 5 is your final answer.